Back in the early 2000s, my PlayStation 2 just stopped reading discs out of nowhere. I said I'd never buy another Sony system again. That's something I've stuck to. Missing a good football game has been a main reason why I've considered giving Sony a second chance. But the Switch finally received Wildcard Football. I was hoping that it would scratch the pesky Madden itch that's been bugging me for the last 7 years. Does it? In some ways, yes, but in others, not quite. This is my review of Wildcard Football on the Nintendo Switch, after over 80 hours of playtime. Wildcard Football is made by Saber Interactive, which made the NBA Playground series, which I've enjoyed, and the terrible WWE Battlegrounds. First, Wildcard Football sports the NFLPA license, but not the NFL license. That means the game features almost all of the starting NFL players, from players like Patrick Mahomes and Justin Jefferson to lesser-known players like James Conner and DeMonte Casey. But no actual NFL teams. Instead, teams are named by the quarterback, that is, Team Tua or Team Burrows. The game has 3 main modes: Season, Tour, and League. Season is an offline mode in which you take a team through a short season. The biggest negative to this mode is your profile doesn't receive any experience or rewards for competing in season mode. Next, Tour mode is a never-ending gauntlet. It challenges you against the computer and is only playable when online. As you progress and your team improves, the computer gets more challenging. This is the best mode for improving your team and unlocking new cards. Finally, Tour mode is online games against other players. This mode is actually a ton of fun. It is some of the most fun I've ever had playing video games online, but there's a big negative. Despite Wildcard Football being a cross-play game, which means you can play against players on Sony and Microsoft platforms, the wait to match into a game is very long most times. As for the gameplay, the game is very reminiscent of NFL Blitz. The game is 7v7. This is one of the only football games that I've played that's actually fun to play defense. Also, running the ball and passing the ball on offense are equally fun and effective. Now, let's talk about the wild cards. The wild cards are cards that modify the game and are chosen before the play. Some can give a player a speed boost, while others turn your players into a missile flying at your opponent. At first I hated the wild cards, but once I learned the benefits of the cards, they really are great and add a ton of strategy to the game. In one game, I was playing online against an opponent and they were setting up for a game-winning field goal. With 1 second left to go in the game, they were losing by 2, and I gave them a kick ban card which didn't allow them to kick the ball, forcing them to go for it from the 30-yard line with 1 second left. I won the game. As for the sound and the graphics on the Switch, as expected, there is a drop in graphical fidelity when compared to the Sony and Microsoft versions, but the game seems to run without any noticeable slowdown. Also, the loading times are not too bad. As for sound, Chris Berman gives a few generic lines before the game, and there's no announcing. I did run into this weird audio glitch, causing the audio to have a lot of static and slowdown. Seems to happen every once in a while. In conclusion, Wildcard Football is definitely a game sports fans on the Switch should look into. If you haven't seen one of my reviews, I rate the game based on how much I'd pay for the game and feel like I got my money's worth. For Wildcard Football, I would pay $30. Make sure you subscribe to my channel because I'm going to be making videos with tips for winning in Wildcard Football, such as the most OP play to choose and the best wild cards. What is your favorite football game ever? Put it in the comments down below. Mine is NFL 2K on the Dreamcast. It was revolutionary. Thanks for watching. You're a star. The best days are ahead of you. God bless.